Actually, a quick hello to people that came in a little after we started. And that was hello, Art. Hi, Russ. Hi, Bill Babbitt. Paul, of course. And hello,
Good
Tom. Good to see
to
you
see
again.
you guys
All right.
back from Europe. The pictures.
Yeah. Oh, good, good. We have stuff to see. Well, geez. So maybe I should flip over to Friedrichshafen. But Tom, if we don't do it this meeting, we can certainly do it one of the following ones. For
Did
sure.
did did Santa bring back an Izetta?
Two enigmas was heavy enough.
Yeah, they made way more than the Izetta, but and maybe more complicated in all likelihood.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah,
Not really.
so
There are only 80 wires in an enigma, so nothing. Bunch
yeah.
of flashlights.
Well, it's certainly good to see everybody. I hope everybody is staying cool minimally and dry if you're been pounded by any of the rain. I know some of New Jersey got hit and New York, but Massachusetts we've been we've had rain, but mostly spared of really the heavy duty stuff. But at any rate, in terms of announcements, let me check here. I think there's a few I can offer on the calendar. July 20th, the Flea at MIT swap meet, another one of those MIT's electronics and ham radio flea markets. And that'll be on that Saturday the 20th from 9 to 2 p.m. And also for our NJRC members here, the New Jersey Antique Radio Club will have their summer tailgate and hamfest show at InfoH, and that's on the 26th at 12 p.m. And speaking of which, speaking of the Zoom meeting, thinking about that, there will be a 3-week hiatus this time around because I try to keep the 2 meetings and I need to keep the end of this month a little bit open because I'll have some commitments. So the next meeting will be tentatively August 6th. I may have to jack that a day, plus or minus, because I may be having to travel that day. So if I do, it may be the Thursday that follows, then on the 7th, or I could possibly do the 5th, so we can work either way. But that 6th may be in danger. But at any rate, I think that's all the announcements because we sort of hit the quiet period of plenty of activity outside of NEVEC on and off. Plus people are going on their holidays, and so you expect people to be sort of in and out, not making many shows, or not many shows are being held, except for NJIRC, which is having something at the end of the month. So does anyone have any announcements that I've not mentioned that maybe is worth bringing up?
Oh, you had to throw that in at the end. I don't know if it'll be worth bringing up, but the VRPS, the Vintage Radio and Phonograph Society, if anyone's going to be in the Dallas, Fort Worth, Richardson area this Saturday, and it's kind of an interesting idea for those of us who are in multiple clubs. Every once in a while, they have a somewhat regularly scheduled repair day. So it's not an official meeting or a swap meet, but they have a get together where some of the members agree to all be at a specific location and will be there to allow other people to come in with a problem child radio that they just don't know what's wrong with it or can't figure it out or whatever. And it's like a little workshop repair day kind of thing. And they have they'll do it from 11 to 2 or 1 to 4 on a Saturday or something like that. So I don't know if there's a market for that in other clubs in other regions, but I thought it was just a pretty cool thing to do, and that club happens to do.
Could you take a few pictures for us, Noah, for next time?
I'm not sure I'm going to make it this Saturday. I'm not going to get back home into that area until Friday afternoon, and by the time I unpack from my 2-week sojourn to Pennsylvania and those places and back, I don't know if I'm going to have it in me to spend another 3 hours in the car to go back up to the Dallas area.
Right. Maybe. I'm not sure whether David Spivey, I know he's not on the call this evening, but I don't know whether he might make it. I know he makes the ones in November. I don't know if he goes to ones, other than that event, but if he does, he has taken some photos. So maybe if I remember, I'll have to go send him an email. Or David, if you watch our videos and you go, do take some photos. Um, but yeah, that was good to know. I like hearing announcements of the clubs and the off chance people are out in the area, especially with some of the larger events. So never hesitate anybody to bring something up, just in the off chance someone can make it from our side of the country. Well,
And there's also Radio Fest coming up in Chicago, just
oh
outside
right. Are you going?
August 1st. Probably. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Now they typically post photos, if memory serves, his on their website, Greg. So maybe they'll give us a little bit of content to talk about, especially if you're there. You might be able to give us a little narrative.
Might be able to get Tom Kleinschmidt on again and have him run
Yeah,
through.
yeah. I'm sure Tom has been joining us in a little while. Certainly be welcome to come back and give us a talk about that too. Yeah, absolutely. So that's in August, you said. Yeah.
First and second. We got a big auction on Friday the 1st, and Saturday's a swap meet, and that's it.
All right. Good to know. All right. Well, Greg. Well, actually, before I have you start, Greg, I'm going to redirect a little bit because Bill Babbitt had actually sent me some photos of that Philco art uh that you managed to get through. I know you were having these intermittent problems, so I don't know if you want to relay the tale of how did you get to the point where you resolved the issues. I know at last meeting it was mystifying you. Whoop, you're on mute there, Art.
Just give me a minute.
And I have a photo for everybody I can share just because Bill, they kindly sent me a photo and I can share that while Art is talking here. Ba, ba, ba.
Well, basically for months, the thing was running for a week or two and then failing, and I'd turn and go to it with my meter and it would start up again. And it just went around and around in circles forever. Fortunately, it finally turned into a hard failure, which is really the lucky stroke. And it turned out to be there's a coil after the oscillator tube. I don't know if it's part of the IF system, but it had a third winding in it that was open. And of course, you can't find something like that. So I had this little coil winding machine that I got from China, I guess, which turned out to be handy. It's probably the fifth or sixth time that I've used it. It was only 26 turns, but it still helped me to keep track of the turns. The radio's working fine now.
Can I ask you, so you said you found a break in this coil, like actually in the wire that's in the coil?
Yeah.
And was it bare copper wire?
No. It's this is a radio probably from the 30s. And usually you see breaks in the coils right at the terminals. You'll see the green corrosion, oxidized copper. But there wasn't any evidence of that in this case. Of course, you had to take it all apart to get the coil out of the can. And I could tell, I measured it, it was open. And as I started to unwind the coil to count the turns, I got about one wind into the thing, and I found the break. The wire just disintegrated. A couple more spots, maybe a quarter of an inch or half an inch away from that one, and then the rest of the coil was all right.
I'm amazed he's still talking to me.
Well, I feel terrible that it took so long. It was such a frustrating thing. As I mentioned last time, there's nothing worse, no worse type of intermittent than an intermittent. So this was just stacked. I mean, it was just horrible. But we're good now.
All right. Well,
But what a job in the cabinet.
yeah, you did you did the cabinet as well?
Well, there was a person here a couple of miles from me who is a cabinet maker, and he loves to do the old radios. And so if the radio comes in and there's something more wrong than can be handled by restore, finish, and a little sprucing up on my own, this fellow takes care of it. And in this case, the radio had some pretty bad spots and some veneer that was peeling away, and he did a nice job. He always does.
Wow, it looks absolutely brand new. It's beautiful.
It sure is.
Well, congratulations, Bill, and congratulations, Art, on finding the problem.
Thanks.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Well, I thought those were worth.
I'm sorry, I'm full of questions because I
Yeah,
don't know anything.
Go ahead, Dan.
Now, with a coil like that, can you solder I mean, I could understand if all the wire was just, shot. But had you wanted to, could you solder that back, or would that just mess up the coil?
Well, the wire is microscopic, right?
Yeah. Okay.
There was only 26 turns. It was the smallest coil on the form. So
yeah,
the expedient thing to do is just unwrap it, count the counts, count the turns, and then
and the number of turns is really important, right?
Well, you can go plus or minus a little, but I try to do the same number.
Okay.
That's why on some of the higher counting turns, I was happy to have that.
Machine.
The Chinese machine.
Yeah, the machine. That's great.
Counter on it, and then if somebody interrupts me halfway through, I don't have to go all the way back to the beginning and restart counting again.
Yeah,
okay.
I just wanted to send that picture out to Sean because I'm so appreciative for all of the work that you did, and like I said, I'm glad I don't see a noose in back of you. So
no, it was educational. Look at the positive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's great. But thank you both. That was interesting. We had to hear the final part of the tale. All right. So, Greg, you feel ready? You warmed up? Ready to give a little presentation on the radio advertisement?
Sure. Let me try sharing the screen here.
All right. That'd be great. I've been looking forward to this. I regrettably missed it when you gave it at Archie. You should have sharing privileges, just to confirm.
Yep.
Can I just point out, I feel like I'm being rude, but I'm actually like drawing a radio diagram. So.
Oh, okay, no problem. This is a very low key, very relaxed atmosphere, so never a problem. All right.
That coming through?
Yep. There will be a quiz at the end of the presentation. Just no pressure.
Okay. Well, you should be able to ace the quiz then, because you've seen this before.
All right. I have not, so I'm gonna have to take notes.
So these are just basically some early advertising brochures that I have in my collection of various radios. They're like pocket-sized brochures that unfolded to almost a poster size, but they showed all the different models and the different features. So let's see what we come up with here. We don't need questions yet. Oh, going the wrong way here.
The end.
Yeah.
It's a virtual, really virtual there. You have to pretend you see.
Okay, here we go. So like I said, these are just scans of fold-up pocket-sized advertising brochures, and I began collecting these probably about 30 years ago. And these are going to cover the early days of AC-powered radios, and they're kind of historic artifacts, giving kind of a fascinating glimpse on the advertising hype and more importantly, the costs of these radios back in the day. And some of them today can be found for a fraction of what they cost new.
Hmm.
In many brands, they had their own unique slogans, and here's the quiz part. There are 11 different brands we'll be covering here, and they all have these catchy advertising slogans. And since broadcasting began, radio for every person, preference to world's finest radio at the world's lowest price, on and on.
Okay.
And the next slide will give you the answers as to
Okay, we'll need that. I knew some of them, but not all.
yeah. His master's voice is probably the easy
Yeah,
one there.
you're right. You should sign off if you don't know that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
So, and most of them are familiar brands, but there are a couple of them that aren't too common.
Whatever happens when you're there with a smart set.
There is nothing finer and harder to work on than a Stromberg Carlson.
That's true.
I can raise you that with any German radio.
Yeah. And a Philco
Especially if you don't have
Predicta.
the parts.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. All
I know
the
the GM one because it's a mimic of a car for every person purpose, right?
right.
Yeah.
They had it. Yep.
Good.
Makes sense. Since broadcast, that's interesting. I look the Fonda one's interesting. Since broadcasting finance. Okay, so Crosley.
1928, 29 Crosley. These are the models they had, and they were their first AC sets. And most all of them were metal box radios back then, and they had their power supply in there. Most of them were big power supply. Everything was mounted in tar, kind of like the Atwater Kents. But just to give you an example of the prices, the green box shows what the price would be in $25. So take the shadow box on the left-hand side, that was $85 new. That would be equivalent to like $1,500 today.
Yeah, wow.
So the cheapest one was $37, and that would be like buying something for a little under $700 today.
That's really interesting. Yeah, it's good you did that.
Yeah, there's a conversion tool that
Yeah.
Tom Zapin for the club put together, and it's kind of a handy thing. These are just some more of the features they had. That's showing the brochure totally unfolded, and the frame on the right where it says Crosley 1920, 29. That's how it looks all folded up. It's about that size.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's really neat. I love all advertisements
Yeah.
and
Well, a lot
brochures,
of
things
were
like that.
retractable back then too. The fonts and things.
Interesting, it's an automotive service station that has the stamp on the brochure.
Right.
I think that might have been because they were probably a centerpiece in that area or the town they were from that charged the old batteries for the battery sets. So they used a lot of gas stations and stuff like that for that time.
Oh, I wonder. Yeah, that's fascinating. So this would have been at a gas station or a service station because you
Sure.
would bring your radio in to get it recharged, the battery recharged.
Yeah, you drop them a nickel, they recharge your battery, and you're good for
Wow.
another week.
As opposed to a disposable battery. That's fascinating.
You know, the battery sets really kind of came around first, and then these AC sets started coming along,
Right.
and it almost kind of phased out the battery sets, but a lot of people still held on to them.
Mm-hmm. Well, exactly. And this is the very start of the AC set. So there were a whole ton more people had battery sets than AC sets when this brochure was available.
I like the name of the speakers. Music Cone,
Oh,
Dynacone.
Yeah.
It's all marketing. I love it.
Well, you know, Pal Crosley was not shy, that's for sure.
Oh, he was.
So everyone's cone was kind of the same, but they all had their fancy names for it.
Yeah, that was just the marketing.
It's marketing.
Yeah.
It's my pillow marketing, as I call it,
Oh, sure.
Okay.
only for radio.
Got even crazier in the 50s with all these, fancy flair with names with flair. It was really pretty interesting.
So this is 1928, one of the first, well, it's a 1929 Philco. And this is a Model 86 Lowboy, which was introduced in January of 1929. And that was $157 new in 1929. That would be equivalent to nearly $3,000 today. So it was a sizable investment when anybody bought a radio back in the early Depression days.
Yeah.
There's your 96-inch flat screen right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and to think that 10 months later, and a lot of people couldn't afford that.
That was a
Yeah.
huge amount of money in 29.
Yeah, when the October the big crash happened, that it killed sales, but good for a bit.
About half the price of a new car.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's just some more
That's a great,
for sure opened up there. But I mean, the fonts and the Art Deco styling, that's what
yeah, I love it.
is very cool.
It's the whole experience of looking at these.
Hmm. And they had a little metal box radio too. Philco table model they call it. It's kind of hard to see them. And
You don't see those very often.
there we go.
The metal box.
I actually have my grandparents' 1928 radiola in working condition, thanks to Art. And the price on that was, I think it's like $1,600 in today's money.
Hmm.
Yeah, sure. There's a little note here for 25 and 40 cycle sets, add $10 to any model.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, so to understand, those were sets where you weren't on a regular 60 hertz plug in your house or something?
Yeah, basically that's what it was.
Yeah, I think it's an era where electric was pretty unreliable, not consistent, and certainly a bit unreliable. So I think there was
Right, right.
quite a bit of variation before they finally settled on the 60 hertz,
Okay.
uh, which I'm not sure
The other thing too is that your voltages were significantly lower. You were anything from like maybe 110 to 115 volts if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nowadays, I mean, here in my house, I'm like, without all the ACs running in the neighborhood, it'd probably be up around 124 volts now.
mhm.
Well, it's kind of
Yeah,
interesting,
that was.
Bob. Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
I was just gonna say that was unheard of back in the late 20s to have that high of voltage. Like you said, about 110 was about max at that time.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I suspect that even exists in parts of this country, or perhaps in other parts of the North America, where it was sort of running around 110, 115. Because a number of my transformers, adjustable transformers on my German radios, especially in the 50s, have like a 110 or 115 volt setting, and then you have like a 125 or 7 or something like that. They went up higher, so you could actually have two settings in that region. So it could be very much where you live.
Oh, it was very much where you lived.
Yeah.
Look at New York, it was DC and parts of Hoboken.
Yeah.
Jersey City were DC into the 50s, possibly the early 60s.
Hmm.
And the 25 cycle alternators were not that uncommon in the industrial areas. The old elevator motors and such,
Mhm.
train drives ran off at 25 hertz, so that's what was available. Of course, you need a much heavier transformer, thus the price difference.
Sure.
It's interesting to note in the bottom of the ads without tubes.
I was just gonna point that out. That's why I
So
brought that
you're
up.
not done paying yet.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, batteries sold separately,
Sure.
logically. So that idea came up early on in the 20s. That's great. I love this.
These are excellent.
That's one. If you note the ad at the center of the page, the Philco Hour radio program, which aired weekly on NBC at Atwater, Kent, had their own weekly series. So a lot of these early radio manufacturers, they capitalize on radio broadcasting as well to advertise their sets.
Oh, yeah. Philco Hour.
Through 36 high-powered stations.
Plus, there's a coupon. Wait, there's a coupon.
But wait, there's
Yeah,
more.
see what that has to say.
Oh, you could possibly for you to get a Philco franchise. So send me all the description of the new Philco A2 models. Have you thought about clipping it and sending it in?
Yeah. I think the old Philco building is still there. Did they tear it down in Philadelphia?
I don't know. I'm probably about an hour away from Philly, but I do not know.
Yeah. Because I think it was the Atwater Kent plant. And then when they went out of business, Philco took it over.
Yeah,
That's
it was a beautiful building. I saw pictures of it on video.
a free trial.
Yeah, they'll bring it to your house and plug it in.
No, I like this. Maybe someone can come over and drop one off. Easy payments, no less.
Easy payments. They had to be with price without tubes, $200. And that's not exactly sure what tubes cost at that time, but I'll bet you'd have at least another $50 in tubes.
And I love that you can get a trade in just
Yeah.
like a car or phone these days.
Exactly.
If I remember right from some of the old tube catalogs, they were around $2, $5, depending on the tube, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But $2 was quite a bit of money in 1929.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
So I wonder if they had like a Kelly Blue Book value for radios at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, back then, if you were earning $1 a day, you could survive.
Yeah.
So when talking about prices, in 1929, you could buy a Model A Ford for $385. That's about $7,200 in today's money. So you look at the prices on these radios, you're almost buying the equivalent of a car.
Yeah.
This high boy was $275. Low boy was $200. Daylight reception.
No bothersome AC hum.
It has great power to bring in distant stations in the daytime. And 4 condensers. Fewer tubes mean better, clearer tone.
Well, like this one way, it's all spin doctoring.
Yeah.
Still, I love it. It's awesome. Oh, in color now. Wow.
Yeah, these are really the first Philcos, and they came in the red and gray and brown and green. You see a lot of brown ones. I think I've seen one red one, but most of them were brown.
Wow, look at this.
Mandarin.
That's terrific. Not
And
seen
those who've
very.
ever seen one of these, that was all hand painted, all those roses and things.
Wow. That had to take a fair amount of time to do. No wonder
Oh,
they, no wonder they charged a king's ransom.
yeah.
I love it though. I mean, it's rare. You actually don't see the Philco metal, boxes that often.
No.
No, don't.
So
You
the one to
see a
have a
ton
hand painted would be a real coup.
Hey, those flowers cost an extra $10.
Flowers sold separately.
of power sold separately. Yeah.
You have to go through the checkout. You basically like buying a car. You have all the options, check, 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 and then you get the bottom line.
If my
Well,
memory serves me correctly, Atwater Kent at the Model 37, which was kind of like their low end AC set, but you could get one with just this one specific design on it. It was really kind of cool looking. You know what I'm talking about, Greg?
I know what you're talking about. It was kind of very Art Deco pattern on it.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I
I had a buddy that had one that was near mint.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful
There
set.
was
He loved the looks of it. He says, "But Bob, I gotta tell you, it's a crappy set.
Yeah.
Crappy
But
for
if
Atwater Kent anyway. Their sets are usually pretty good."
Yeah. Well, they sold a ton of Model 40s. I mean, those for every 100 ones of those you can find. You're lucky you found one Philco like this.
Yeah, exactly.
And they had matching speakers.
The console grand speaker, that's pretty impressive because you see the metal box sitting on top. It set you back a little few dollars.
Well, if you note, they even had pinstripes painted on the speakers too.
That was an option, the pinstriping.
Well, I think they came that way, but I mean, they matched the
Oh,
metal
right.
box for the
Sure.
radio.
Ah, see, that's the way to go, I guess. Get the matching colored speaker to match because in the prior picture they showed the metal box sitting on the grand speaker just to the right there. That's partially cut out.
Yeah, I think let's see if I can find that again. Here it is.
You can see it in the background there
Mhm.
in the large photo there.
There
There
it
it
is.
is, yes, right in the living room. Got the Mandarin red sitting on the grand speaker. Very nice.
You know, you think they could have put a much bigger speaker in there too, because where
I
they had
know.
it standing up on those tall legs like that, it could.
I know you're really paying for furniture and not enough speaker.
Well, from what I read in the marketing literature from the day, that furniture look was absolutely critical. The manufacturers felt they could not move radios into the home if the spouse did not care for the appearance.
I believe it.
So that furniture thing was, and yes, they often did spend more on the woodwork than they did on the electronics.
I think you're right.
Absolutely. So that brings us to 1930 and the first cathedral, the Philco Baby Grand. And that was really the start of the integrated speaker and the chassis all in one wooden box. $49.50 in 1930 is about $950 today.
At the low price, $49.50. Love it.
Less tubes.
Price is slightly higher in Canada. It must be those tariffs. And
And it's got a genuine electrodynamic speaker, not just any electrodynamic speaker.
Yeah.
I know I
And
love
today you can find these sets fairly common, but to find one where all the grill work is still intact is more of a challenge. Because the lattice work was very flimsy.
They're thin. I've seen these, and it's very thin.
Yeah.
So it's riding around the back of the car and took a bump, though you're toast. Bump up against something.
Oh yeah, and if anybody tries to ship one of those, because the speaker weighs about 20 pounds, it's just attached with those 3 screws.
Yep.
But here's an odd off-brand I'd never heard of. This is 1931. It's a Ware Electric.
Interesting. Where were they made, so to speak? Where was Ware made?
There it is. Trenton, New Jersey.
Wow, there it is.
So this must be a competitor for RCA. I guess David Sarnoff would just give him dirty looks every time he drove out to lunch or something after he left the Camden office and went down to Trenton for lunch.
Yeah.
There you go. It's neat. Just an exposed chassis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now there it is. They're showing the chassis, and there's the cabin. Okay.
I like that one all the way on the right. That's really ornate looking.
Yeah, that's I love the woodwork, that Bantam. That's beautiful. That is really beautiful. I've never seen one before. This is the closest I've been to this point.
It's got 2 little finials on there like a mantle clock.
Yeah. Even the consoles are very good looking.
Oh, okay. I've seen all these screen grid radios. They're already full 24s, and now they're in the ad. You could read it. It says, "Oh yeah, I have screen grid 24s on them."
Yeah.
My pillow marketing at its best.
324, 227s, 145, 180.
Yeah. Fairly common.
Well, you lost me. Is this the tube numbers or something?
It's
Yeah,
actually the type of the tube. If you look inside of a 24, it's got this like large screen inside. It's just a grid. So they're just hawking this thing. Is that this is just a wonderful, fantastic thing, and to have your radio a screen grid detector or whatever. It's just crazy. It's just my pillow marketing. But the one tube that's there, that's money now is a Type 45.
right.
If I get decent 45s, I sell them for like $30, but they're hard to find.
Yeah, they're hard to find good ones.
Yes.
It's a wonderful companion.
And don't even talk to me about 50s. Because I actually fell into some 50s last year, and I hadn't seen any in 12 years.
Wow.
Those are uber rare. It's like finding lips on a chicken.
Huh.
Never going to happen.
Well, maybe the
Yeah,
chicken.
Frank
Maybe
Angelo.
there we go. Yeah, maybe that chicken took Botox.
Yes.
I love it. There we go.
So these are
Made in New
1931
York.
products.
Long
Made
Island City, New York is where the factory was.
Hey, where Union? Which city did you say, Bob?
Long Island City, New York.
Oh, really? Because it's
Yeah,
funny.
it's east of Brooklyn.
Yes, I remember that. I think they must have had opened up something in New Jersey. Because my father from 48 is made in I believe in New Jersey. I thought it said
I
Union.
think at one time Feta had a thing with Dumont or somebody over there in Jersey City. I think it was Dumont. That was like when they were making TV sets. I think the radio stuff was still done in Long Island City.
Okay. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very that whole area. In fact, that's for all the shipping. A lot of the importers, even for like the German radios, typically had a site in Long Island City because
That's always been a big industrial area. When I was a
Yeah.
traveling field service guy, I had a couple accounts in Long Island City. I only had to go there maybe once or twice a year, but I got very familiar with that area.
So these list the tube numbers and whatnot and describe them. Would buyers have kind of known that, or is this more marketing?
I think it's kind of basic marketing, just to because a lot of you got to remember back in the day, these people were a lot of them were really, really, really into this stuff, and they were probably building crystal sets and building maybe early tube battery sets and things like that. And they got to know how a tube worked pretty quickly. So the tube list is there just to let the prospective buyer know that what they're actually getting in the radio. And there was a lot of coating on the tubes, like you see here on the Feta. You have I don't know what I guess F is standing for Feta, but then you have the 3 digits 230. Like if you look at the first one is a 235. Well, it's just basically a 35 tube.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the tube was just a code, I think, for who made the tube at that time. It could be RCA or it could have been Philco or it could have been, whatever.
hmm And one thing that's interesting about these chassis, why I brought up the pictures, is instead of having separate tube shields for the tubes, they just had a metal box. You can see they showed the covers being opaque here that you can look into it, but that was one big metal cover over the tubes.
Interesting.
The really, really, really rare nice sets were using copper shielding. It's just that they're hard to find. I've actually had a couple pass by my hands and repair work and stuff like that. It's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Never see that now though. Now they have like your transformers on your poles and everything. They emit so much noise, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yes, here it says operation 105 to 130 volts.
Yeah, I see that. The 60 cycle, then they have 25 cycle there at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like Paul was saying, it depended on the area you lived at.
Sure.
Service.
Oh, here we go. Here's some upper end pieces.
Quiet
That was
operation.
I'm sorry, Greg, go ahead.
I just was reading the hype here. It says quiet operation assured. No hiss, no hum, no crosstalk, no
Well,
internal crackle.
but and there's a little asterisk that says only with the set off.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the clarity of what people were hearing, like when you were listening to, Fibber McGee and Molly or whatever, how, because when I listen to it now, the sound is just so rich. Even an AM signal compared to digital is gorgeous, but was it not that way?
They
Well,
didn't have. Good.
the early sets, the speakers didn't sound quite as good as today either.
Yeah.
When I first
There
came out
was
the
a
field,
great deal of change being done in speaker technology right around this era. In our museum in New Jersey for the New Jersey Club, our tech guru Al had pieced together a long time ago a bunch of speakers, and it's just basically a chronological thing where it just went through the different eras of speakers, and like Greg was just getting ready to say, that the technology was constantly changing at the time. So I guess manufacturers used whatever they had. So you really needed to listen to the set to really make that comparison of, well, how's this one sound versus this one? And, again, they just, kind of threw everything they had in their marketing department to make you want to buy their sets.
I mean, so some of the earlier paper cones from this era in a wood box had kind of a warm and woolly sound that really was kind of pleasant. It's by no means accurate, but it was pleasant to listen to.
right, in the Philco Model 20 that we showed before, the Baby Grand, I had one of those, and the speaker on that, it sounded more like a telephone than it did.
Oh,
And that
okay.
was one of the things that they improved on the following year. But
It sounded like really Rudy Valley singing out of a megaphone.
there you go. Good example. Yep. So now here's an interesting feature that these had. I don't know if they show it on here, but it'll be on the next slide, I think. This was like a shadow graph, I think they called it. It was a tuning aid that they had on these. It was a little tube. Here it is. Automatic beta flashograph.
Oh, okay.
It was a neon tube basically that kind of sparked, and then when you got to a station, it would it would light up bright when you're right on the station, and dimmer when you're on a weak station.
Oh, it says it's a neon tube.
Yeah, that's
It was.
I never knew
interesting.
they had sets like that.
I've never
Yeah.
seen one. Not with that.
Let's see if I got the next slide. Might have
Wow.
it.
That'd be really cool to see. Oh, this is really a question for Howard.
Yeah, I'll bet he has one of those. I mean,
I'll have to ask him.
And does pentodes mean potentiometers or?
No, it's the configuration of the tube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Complete with tubes for $112.50.
the prices were going down. This was the Depression now.
Yeah, that's right.
31. They
There
knew
you
if they
go.
wanted to sell radio.
Also, keep in mind, just as a regional thing, New York City had what was called Radio Row.
Yeah.
And there was just gobs and gobs of stores selling radios. So there was a great deal of competition, and you really had to be a good salesperson to get in there and hawk these old radios. So Frank D'Angelo definitely had an advantage with this, at least, because they were making decent radios back in the day. And the Atwater Kents and some of the other high end sets, they unless you had deep pockets, they were probably better radios than Feta. But just for overall, just something to listen to your daytime serials and your regular shows, nighttime shows, and news and weather and sports. A Feta, was just fine for people. That it was more affordable for most people anyway.
And if you look above here, it says at a new moderate price. So they definitely were bringing the prices down to get these things out the door.
Yep.
Oh, no question. Oh, yeah.
A lot of them were stuck with inventory.
I bet.
Yeah. So here's a breakdown of the different models and what they cost. So from a 7-tube was $70 roughly to a 10-tube model. And those boxes of green, that's what they would cost in today's dollars.
Yeah.
Big money.
What's your base? Yeah. 3680. Not quite as steep as the earlier like Philco's, but still up there.
Yeah, still a sizable investment. Here's the tube right here.
Oh, okay.
That's what it looks like. A column of neon
It's
light.
on YouTube.
Yeah, it is on YouTube. If you look it up, there's a demonstration of it.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. Love to see that.
Hey, I gotta write that down.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
at
if
the
you
age
just,
where I forget things easy.
yeah, Beta K42, you search for that, you'll be able to find it.
Flashograph.
42.
But very few of those tubes survive today because they built up carbon inside and you can't see anything in them anymore when they
Oh,
Yeah, that's why you don't see them, I guess.
interesting. So it's almost like a temperature needle style.
yeah.
Now I have to look more carefully, but you don't see fadas of this generation super often.
No.
No, you don't.
The flashograph. Now this one's a different one.
Yeah, this one is just about a bulb that would shine through a little slit or slot in the cabinet.
I wonder if Philco got the idea for this to make their little
Shadow.
Yeah.
No wonder I'm still a little confused on a bulb when a station is still unclear how that works. That
The shadow meter that Philco used, I'm referring to.
yeah. It says hide a
Yeah,
key first what it says push through the hole provided in the panel. That is a perfect.
yeah, I think the video I watched it. I think the video shows the one with the actual tube that
Right. The automatic flashograph. And this other one
right.
is this sort of mechanical. I was trying to just visualize how this works. Does the YouTube video show the alternative flashograph, or just only shows the automatic one, the
I
neon
think
one?
it just shows this automatic one. But another set that use these, it's more common. Well, not more common, but more people know about them is the Crosley, the huge WLW.
Oh, that big monster with like 40 tubes in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They used a similar tube in there
Really?
for the
Okay.
yeah. There's a video if you watch on YouTube where they compare. There's one guy, he has a Zenith Stratosphere and he has a Crosley WLW, whatever they called it, side by side, and he does a comparison on them.
I think I saw it. It was in this guy's house. He had like several big high tube sets.
Yeah,
And
he did.
I remember seeing that video like 5 or 6 years ago.
Didn't we circulate a video link? I think I started to watch it and I got disrupted. Never got back to it, and it's still in my inbox to go watch. But was that the one, or is that a different video where they do the comparison?
I think that's the one. Yeah, because they had the same tube on the dial of the Crosley, and when you went to a strong station, you could see it arcing across on a weak station, only half of the word Crosley would light up, and on a strong station, the whole word Crosley would light up.
Ah, I'll have to go back to that. I wanted to go back to that because it was actually fun. I was enjoying for the first few minutes I was watching.
Yeah, there was something, if I remember right, they put some kind of Bluetooth apparatus into it. They had it mounted in a Sucrets box in the back of the radio. The guy that was doing the demonstration or the tour was giving him a hard time.
That's funny.
So here's the General Motors radio. They were a short-lived brand, and they were kind of an offshoot of the car manufacturer. I think later they probably became Delco.
I think Delco took them over. You're right.
Yeah. The Little General.
Yeah, everybody seemed to have their own cathedral.
The Valeri. Not to be convinced with the Valari.
Yes.
That was a Chrysler product.
Yeah, Plymouth Valari.
The
Yes,
Valari, the Valari was an awful car. Those are the Dodge Aspen.
Aspen, yeah. They're the
Yeah,
parent.
They were terrible. I dated a girl in high school. Her parents bought her a brand new Dodge Aspen.
And you broke up the next day?
No, not at all. The thing, I don't know if it was in the transmission or the U joints. Every time I go from, one gear, reverse, forward, whatever, I kept hearing a clunk. I just kept telling her, this is not good. You got to tell your dad to take this, get it checked out.
I worked with a guy at NEVEC who said he had a Velarpen. One side of the car said Valari, the other side said Aspen. So he called it his Velarpen.
Velarpen.
That's the way it came from the factory.
You're kidding.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
no.
Oh,
It
thanks,
was
Dan.
either a Monday or a Friday car. then, I guess.
made on a Monday, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the hangover from the weekend.
Mhm.
They look the same to me, and they were.
I
Then,
put
of
a
course-
link to the video, by the way, in the chat there if anybody wants it.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
Of course, Chevy had the Monza. That was another gem of a car.
Actually, I had two.
You had a Monza, yeah?
I had my very first car was a 1975 Monza.
Did you have good luck with it?
Yeah, it was actually, well, it was used, but yeah, I actually it was the 75 and a half. It was a town coupe, and
Oh,
it
okay.
had had the Vega motor, which offered little, other than it was a little bit oil thirsty. It never gave me a lick of problems. I made sure I kept the oil and the fluids up. That was especially the coolant. And I had the 5-speed. It was a half-year offering, the BorgWarner 5-speed. It was actually, and the one thing I'll say about it, because of the aluminum block, I don't mean to go off on a tangent. It was actually a very neutral handling car. It was actually a pretty. For me, it was actually surprisingly better than I expected. It was a good car. And then I had a 79 2+2.
Okay.
That had the 3.2 liter V6 with the same gearbox, a rare option.
Mhm.
And that was a great car.
I forget what
actually-
city it was, but they had a time capsule they just opened recently.
Yeah, it was a Vega.
Where they buried one 50 years ago, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they had that yellow 75 Vega, and I saw that.
I thought it was
Yeah.
laughing. It was a really pretty base. Not that Vegas had many, could really, option them out much, but that was a pretty base Vega. For looking what I saw pulled out, I said, well, that was a base car.
Yeah.
John, I forget what year they did it, but they made some of those Chevy Monzas with 305 V8s in them.
Yep.
And
wow.
you couldn't get at the spark plugs.
Yeah, you had to
literally
lift it.
disconnect the motor and jack it up about 4 inches to get to
Yeah.
the spark plugs on them.
It was really, really dumb. Yeah, exactly. A roommate of mine had the 2+2 with the 305. It was a handful. It's all engine.
Yeah, it was an okay straight line car, but don't turn the steering wheel.
Right.
Yeah, that had to be fun in the snow.
Yeah, it was helpless. The
Another
Imperial.
car brand, the Imperial, yeah. You don't see
Oh.
GM use the word Imperial too often.
Now that looks like an Imperial. I mean, in terms of the name seems apropos.
Yeah. A very impressive value and a fine instrument.
But again,
Yeah.
Chrysler stole that name.
Yeah.
That is beautiful, though. I will say
That
that.
is a nice looking radio.
I've never seen one. Is that the speaker? Is that the Don face, the Cosmopolitan? That looks like an
There's a
interesting.
problem. Whoop, back too far here. Hang on. There we go. So yeah, it looks like the speaker's still down
Oh, okay.
below.
That's the big. Okay, yeah. Because that's really curious. Is that just wood, or is that like? Is that? I'm trying to decide what's in the dead center. Is that just veneer?
Looks like it might be a door or something that you
Yeah.
pull
I
down,
think it drops down. Yeah, the controls are behind
hide
that.
the controls or something so the kids don't get at them.
That's what
You know,
I was wondering, because it looks like it wants to be a panel, to hide something. Because the speaker, like you said, is right below it.
Greg, what year was that?
This is 1932.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, those are beautiful. Again, never seen.
I actually saw one like this Queen Anne at one of our meets once. And it was
Really?
just a huge. I stood next to it and it went up to the top of it. I could have put my chin on it. It was that tall.
Wow, the Queen Anne.
Wow.
Automatic for the low price of $58.36.
Yeah, $250 with 10 tubes. Well, yeah, that's basically half the cost of a car.
Wow.
I had the guy that kind of give me the nudge to get my ham radio ticket. He was a collector of old radios as well, and his favorite line is that the heavier the radio weighs, the better it works. So he probably would have liked that Queen Anne.
I remember my grandfather telling me he bought a new 1934 Harley Davidson,
Mm-hmm.
and it cost $505. That was the price. And
That's hefty.
his dad was a local or Chrysler Plymouth dealer in town. He was furious because he could have got a new Plymouth coupe for $495.
And you're protected from the weather.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it. This is really fun because it's just stuff I've never seen in person.
You never see these. This is great. Now I
There's
look
the
at that chassis and I think,
Yeah.
well, that's got to be close to a Philco 70 or 90, but it's not. Obviously, it's GM.
Yeah.
And Globe tubes as well.
I love the way they cap their I'm a neophyte, but the tops of their little cylinders there, their shields, I assume, are a different are chrome basically, right? Just like the cars. Little extra chrome, make it look good.
It's possible. Sometimes those things were painted red or green.
Okay.
Dan, there were a couple of radio manufacturers that made really high-end sets,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they actually chromed the chassis on them.
Yeah, like those Scots.
They're extremely valuable radios.
Wow, gorgeous.
Well, that looks more like an end table.
Yeah, I know, huh?
Yeah, it looks like a side armchair for your newspaper, your coffee, or your beer or something.
An early English occasional table.
Yes.
Yeah, radio for
Yeah,
every
those
person.
are occasional tables. They turn into chairs from time to time as well, but occasionally they're tables.
Yeah. Well, they're solid enough. There's no trouble with being a chair. Clarion, all right.
Oh boy. Look at the prices on these things.
I know.
Yeah,
Wow.
five.
If you didn't read the fine print, you might not get the tubes.
Oh, this says
Oh, this
Play with
says
tubes.
complete.
$49.95. Wow, look at the prices coming down. It's 1 year later. I mean, you look at all that look at all that, a full-size console for $50.
Yeah.
10
And here they give the dimensions too. This console here is 41.5 inches high.
That's pretty sizable.
That's a pretty imposing radio.
They put it right
Probably
down.
Probably is a twin speaker.
Let's see here. Power driver stage. Wow. Love it. It's amazing the price. Now, where's Clarion? Maybe they were Midwest, right?
They might have been. Let me see if I can find it on the
I don't remember.
world's finest radio at the world's lowest price. Show it on the next page.
But
Jeremy at Jack Benny's house.
the price is
Yeah.
so low they're practically giving it all away.
Crazy Jacks.
This one's
So
in
here,
Cohoes, New York. Did I read that right? That's in
Chicago.
Albany.
It says they're made in
Yep.
Chicago.
Oh, there we go. I was looking at the stamp for the LD Leicester
It's New
radio.
York.
Says Cohoes. Cohoes is near the Albany area, if memory serves.
Wow.
Oh, that's fun. When you see the chassis exposed.
and the front panel of the radio is right on the chassis. So there'd just be a cutout in the radio cabinet for
Slider in.
slide it right in. No knobs to pull.
Right. Plus it makes servicing easier.
Yeah. Doors closed, doors open.
Really cool.
So this is 1933 RCA Victor.
The Duo 300.
And this was actually a radio phonograph.
Ah, right.
Which would have to be
10 and 12s.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
That would have to be one of the first table model radio phonographs, I would think.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this is somebody wrote the date on here, October 5th, 1933.
Electric radio
Show.
show.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Wow. Cool. Love it. And that was done with one of the ink pens. Yeah, the refill.
Fountain pen.
Fountain pen. That's
Fountain
what.
pen, yeah.
Love it. I love those little personalizations.
Wow, look at this big monster here.
Yeah, the 331.
Oh, legs.
All you could ask for in a convenience, tone, quality, and appearance. Wow.
10 as 10 was it a selection of 10?
Well, it must have had a
8 or
corrected
10 or 7. Yeah, changer. I got it. Oh yeah. Cool.
Oh, it's got a changer on it. All right, so you can do 8, 10, or 7 12s because the 12s were a little bit thicker than the 8s. The 10s, I mean.
List price 179. That thing looks heavy. Just looking at the picture, it looks like a backbreaker.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they had chiropractors back in 1933, so probably not. Probably have to get somebody to walk on your back or something.
Yeah. Or yeah, exactly. The Model 100.
Yeah, that was just a basic. There was a 110 and a 120. These were kind of unique because they started having short wave on them, but they didn't know where to put the knob, so they just kind of stuck it off to the side here, and it looks kind of.
It looks like
Like
an
an
add-on. Yeah, afterthought.
What was that for the band switch, Greg?
Fancy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd almost think they would have put it off to the side, but
It's kind of like the 61 Plymouth where they didn't know where to put the taillights, so they forgot to put them on, so they tacked
It
them
was
on
an
the side.
afterthought.
Yeah.
It is a funny thing that they're not, and I'm trying to think of radio, cabinet radios with controls to the side, and they really didn't do that because it didn't look like furniture, I assume.
No. Well, if you notice too, they just had the one little cat's eye here where your dial was. But
Yeah.
they put a matching plate over on the other side just to kind of give it some kind of
Symmetry is everything.
That's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I like the description of the box one.
Oh, what does that say?
It has a
Chest.
a chest of quiet and dignified appearance.
Yeah.
Gives it an individuality not usually found. I'd love to see like a real commercial, you know.
Yeah. Tea and crumpets not included.
Yeah. Endorsed by the King of England.
Yeah, there's the 120. I think I had one of those at one time.
They made a lot of those.
Yeah, they made a ton of those. And the bad thing about them is they were using that crumbling wire on them already. So if you ever restore one of those, you'll have a lot of wire to replace.
Yes.
Here's another marketing slogan: buy acoustic.
I know, love this. Dual automatic volume control, automatic tone compensation, and tone equalizers. It is housed in a six-legged monstrosity of fine proportions, exquisitely veneered in but walnut. I mean, hey, I love the wood. The wood alone is worth the price of admission.
It was probably most of the price of the radio was a cabinet. I mean, these were exquisite cabinets. I mean,
You know, that 280 is
bang out radios all day long. It's cabinets that cost money.
I think that model number is there's no coincidence. That's the weight in pounds.
Probably about right. All right. This monstrosity was this had the record changer too, but it also had a recording apparatus. You could record radio shows off of this.
I've only ever seen one of those in person.
So that one was April 3rd, 1932, received from RCA at Atlantic City.
Love it.
And how was it recording? Was it being a wax disc or what?
Oh, they were acetate discs, I think.
Okay.
And they had a cutting stylus.
Wow. And it was a permanent recording. It wasn't like a magnetic tape or an old
Permanent recording, 78.
Wow.
There are some early recordings of radio shows that people did at home. They were called speakophones. I think they made more portable versions of this, but this was the super deluxe model here.
That thing is gorgeous.
I think this was one of the first record cutters, and then Philco started later in the 30s. They started making radio phonographs with record cutters built in. I did one probably, I'm going to say 7-8 years ago for a guy, and I actually got it to work, the cutter. So he was very, very happy.
Yeah, they started putting those in with the beam of light sets.
Yes, right. So the tone arm would light up this bright orangey red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I think David Crew gave a presentation on that some years ago in the early days of Zoom meetings.
Wow, take a look at that blonde. Wow.
Yeah. Majestic for 1934.
Radio or the blonde?
Both are quite majestic, yeah. Then on the opposite side, they've got an ad for the band leader,
the old
Ben Burney and the Lads.
And that's an endorsement. I love this stuff. Yowza.
That was his catchphrase, yeah.
Later to become Bernie and the Jets.
Yeah.
I think he might have been great grandfather to one of the members of Guns N' Roses, probably.
Yeah.
Could be.
I love it. This is a great
That's a
ad.
great ad. I
I
love
love
that
it.
ad.
Oh, look at this. Wow, that is even better. Look at all this. Look at all the
Yeah.
different
All the chrome front sets they had in 1934. I think I showed you the one. I've got this studio model here.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. You did the restore on it, didn't you?
Yep.
Yes, I remember you did a beautiful job. And we had one, geez, I thought one was on our it was one of our silent auction radios is the Century Six or something that looked a lot like it, but the woman very enjoyably listening to it
Oh
and
yeah.
gazing on its beautiful features.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to. I mean, I'm not an art person, far be it for me to be an art expert, but I think they were trying to get in on the machine age look that a lot of the buildings and things,
Mm.
even
Sure.
some of your furniture and everything was going for in that at that time period. So
Art
that was
Deco.
probably a great idea by Majestic to try to do that.
Yeah, the emphasis of vertical, with the design
Very much,
motifs.
yeah, very much like a building,
Yeah.
The Chrysler building.
architectural. Yeah, and the same with the other one. They look like miniature buildings in a way.
Yeah, it's the emphasis, the motifs.
And they even point out chromium grill.
Yeah. Right, there's
And
some,
even
Really
some
good looking radios.
yeah, this had aluminum grill, but even the 4-tube model of the bare bones one, they spruced up the outside with the
yeah,
chrome grill.
the Duo Chief. Yeah, these are a number of these I've never seen in person.
This one I've seen a number of the Master 6.
Hmm. Beautiful. I
Because
love
they
it.
just had a chrome frame around the grill. There was nothing ornate like
Very pretty
this.
though. I like that. It's a very classy looking unit.
Shortwave to 4400 KC.
Yeah.
Hey, that's UHF at the day,
Yeah. When the skip's in,
Savoy, look at these
There's even the
big
car
boys.
radio. Twin 6.
Twin
62
Six. Hey, that's a motor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Car
no,
radio.
I love it. That's awesome.
Well, you look at the size of that, and it's only a 6-tube radio.
there was a show on the local TV station in Portland last night about the first station in Maine, radio station, and it was in Portland, and they said that the guy who built it, he had built a hotel and he was building a new hotel. But now that people were driving cars, rather than getting off the train, spending the night at the hotel, and then taking, I don't know, another train or whatever up into the northeast area of Maine, they had their own cars and they were passing through. So he came up with this idea that if he put a radio station, AM radio station in the hotel, on top of the hotel, he could entice people to stop and spend the night. And apparently it was very successful that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I think it was built in the like 27, 28, or right around, no, they said it's the hundred, it's the TV station. It was the predecessor of the TV station. And yeah, they were saying 100 years ago. So I don't know. I don't know if I really buy that, but they had his grandsons on and they were talking about why he did it. And I guess they'd know as well as anybody else.
Mhm.
So seeing the car radio, what year is this flyer from? Do we know? It looks like it could be
That was
early 40s.
1934. Yeah, it was
34. Okay.
34. Yeah.
I think the
So
very, very early car radios, they used to just strap them onto the running board and then had a huge damn antenna whip on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
yeah.
Pretty odd looking to see it on a car.
So this is 1934 Stromberg Carlson, and this big monster is another radio phonograph. But if you look at this, it plays both 33 and a third and 78 RPM records.
Oh, and dark weather, rosewood insets. Wow, that's
And there,
refrigerator size.
yeah, there were some early 33 and a third records in the very early 30s, and they quickly faded away because they weren't they didn't hold up like a 78. So it wasn't until the late 40s, 1948, when the actual 33 and a third that we know today came out.
Oh, these are beautiful.
Yeah. So I actually have a Model 68 like this.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. They had a little tuning indicator too. It was like a shadow meter, but it was just an arrow that pointed from left to right, like a signal strength meter.
Cool. Now, let's see. So how tall is this? I think it said, was that 30 something? I think it was the dimensions right near there we go. 39 and a half. Okay, that's a good size radio.
A little over 3 foot tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it's good size. It looks like it. And of course, it's got the classic Stromberg Carlson
It's a gun shaped dial.
Outside
Yeah.
dial.
And so this is an all wave band. There must be about
octagon.
3 or 4 different bands on it, but each section of that hexagon, one section will light up for broadcast, another section will light up for short wave, another for police, another for aircraft. So there's like, I think I counted like 8 different bulbs in that dial, in that front panel.
That's cool. I love it. That's a very good looking radio. And that's that the selector light dials right above the dial face, right in dead center
Right.
of the.
Yeah, it's very similar to a shadow meter. Just got an arrow that goes from left to right, sweeps from the top.
Does yours work?
It does,
like that?
yeah.
Wow, you have
It's
to
actually got it's actually got 2 chassis. The top chassis is just the RF section, and the bottom half is your power and amplifier.
Wow. You have to show us some photos of it one day.
Yeah, I'll have to take some. So they made an actual the Model 69 is just this shortwave converter that you could make any standard radio into an all wave with just that little box.
Ah,
Adds
he looks delighted.
uses 4 tubes. He does.
Oh, happy he
Good
got
movie.
dressed up.
Yeah. It's funny. The smile looks a little fake. Is he getting electrocuted by any chance?
He maybe has the girl from the Majestic ad in the room with him there.
Oh, there we go.
That's
That's a much more plausible explanation.
She just told him no. Oh,
Yeah.
no. She said yes.
Oh, there she is over here.
Either that guy's getting a shock from the ray or he just
Yeah.
sat on something pointy. Did you see his eyes bulging
Yeah,
out of
it's a little.
that? My God, man's
I-
really happy he got that.
I think my money's on electrocution.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's screaming electrocution.
An early ED med.
Just moments before his hair starts to smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was black when he started.
There we-
Wow, look at these guys here.
Yeah.
High fidelity.
It's funny how modern there's a big range of of style because you have the one you have is very modern looking for that era compared to sort of the older styles from looks like from the the late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's kind of a rural urban divide in terms of the consumers.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super power 30 watts output. What is a treble speaker and auditorium type bass with double acoustical labyrinths. There you go, Nolan. Double acoustical labyrinths.
They don't give the price.
Stromberg Carlson was always big on the audio side of things.
Yeah.
48 inches high. Okay, that's pretty good size. Wow, these are again pieces you don't see very often.
Real backbreakers to
Oh my gosh.
the way it looks.
Bring a forklift.
And a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Or the drugs that other guy was taking.
Yeah.
Here's some more car radios.
Oh yeah.
Look at it. It's got the tuner on the side of the steering column.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Look at the key.
Well, that's why I guess in case somebody wants to steal it, and park
Yeah.
it
I wonder
in
if
that area.
that's to keep some vagabond kid from getting in your car and running the battery down by listening to your radio.
Could be.
Maybe.
Probably. Tech Lictor set.
What? Look, the Tectator. Look at the wood design.
I
over
know.
the speaker on that. That was amazing.
That looks
Yeah.
kind of robotic. It's really
Yeah.
unusual.
Can you bring it over a little bit?
It is.
That's the one who.
There we go. Wow, look at that thing. Very modern, very, sort of keeping up with the majestics of the world, making that emphasis on vertical.
It takes away from the plywood appearance of the
Yeah.
cabinets.
That's what it looks like too. Is plywood.
Yeah, it does. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like two sheets cut one right after the other. Look at how the grains match.
Yeah.
Interesting. It is an unusual design.
In fact, the things down on the bottom look like faces.
Yeah.
Actually, they do.
Yeah.
A little bit.
This is your Rorschach test.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my mother yelling at my father.
Or yelling at me. Don't touch the radio. That's an
here they have
unusual design. That is truly, I've never seen anything anywhere remotely looking like that.
No.
Well, John, when I see one,
either.
I'll buy it for you.
Yeah.
Now, where are the controls?
I really would be the only kid in town with one.
But where are the controls stored?
It may be operated with or without remote control. So let's see.
Wow.
Oh,
Tigerwood.
no knobs or hardware visible.
Carpathian elm. Wow, look at these things. French Circassian walnut.
Yeah.
Carpathian elm. I think
I think that's like Corinthian leather.
Yeah.
Ricardo Montalban will be out.
So you're telling me that Ricardo Montalban's father peddled this?
Yeah, probably.
Look what they've done to my radio.
This is just too much fun.
It is, but this is
It's
really,
crazy.
really unusual. I love this. This is a great presentation, Greg.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we're just enjoying seeing all the neat little features and styles.
Well, I'm glad I'm doing it on a tablet because they have the ability to zoom in on things like this.
Yeah.
Dumping all over somebody's career efforts, but
Yeah.
They're long gone.
This is American Bosch. And that was the last year, I think, for American Bosch. 35 or 36, I think, was when they went out of business.
Interesting. That's a very
But
serious
they had their own
listener.
radio program. American Bosch Radio Explorers Club featuring Captain Barker and famous explorers from American Museum of Natural History. And this is Captain Barker here.
Interesting. And that Springfield, Massachusetts location as well. Really interesting. So that must be, tied to this American Explorer, the guy, the little ad on the left panel there. The
Right.
guy's
This is the guy
listening,
that
and there's this explorer behind him. He's listening about the explorer. The only thing that guy is missing is a pipe.
What's he holding?
The Bosch, I'm trying to dig back 15 years ago or so when I was working on this thing. There is, or was until recently, still a Bosch in Springfield, and it's United American, and that distinguishes it from like the German Bosch.
I was wondering if there's a relationship there, or is it just purely when I call it American Bosch, say it's not the German?
Yeah, there was something like that because a guy I was meeting up with there had worked with them for a while, and he was explaining that it's a real touchy subject with both companies.
Interesting. So I never looked at the history of the German Bosch, how far they go back, but evidently maybe that going back to that time frame.
Wonder if it was originally the German Bosch, and then during World War II.
Right. By the 1930s, they were becoming a little less popular. Late 30s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exploring foreign lands. Look at that.
So this is one of the first slide rule dials.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there were too many radios before 1935 that had a slider rule.
That's pretty cool.
Patented multi-band selector. So I guess what happened when you switched to a different band, this band would lift up and the next band would show.
I see it. It's identified by a special color. And only one waveband scale is visible at a time, and that is in color. No other round-the-world radio has the same simplified, confusion-ending, all-wave tuning feature.
Plus the shadow meter, you can see the veins sticking out in the bottom there.
I've got a Filco with a shadow meter.
Well, they call it silhouette tuning.
Silhouette.
They didn't call it.
As to not be harassed by Philco's legal department.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think
Sure.
I had enough trouble with the Germans.
No. Being at both sides of the pond.
Right.
Here's their model line. And they had some really funky looking cabinets on these. They were, I think, the first one to use this slant front panel on them. No squat, no stoop, no squint. So you're standing there looking down at the set, you could read the dial instead of having to stoop down.
That's actually a pretty smart idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is that a cutout, or is that just a wood design on the it looks like a built, like a little spire on top
I
of
think
the
it's
grill?
black wood.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
What that is, that's the door folded up. There's a door that covers it up over here.
No, just below that. It looks like
below that.
someone's giving you the finger.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. There's Carl has cracked the code.
That's the Germans again.
Right.
That's kind of cool to have the controls on top. It kind of reminds me of when I went to Japan and locals were telling me that Disneyland in Tokyo wasn't doing too good. But I asked, well, was that because no one was tall enough to get on the good rides?
Oh.
But same thing, same rule applies. You don't want your kids to get at the radio. If you don't want your kids playing with the radio, they got to be tall enough to reach the controls. Or maybe you swing a piece of furniture over there to stand on or something.
Yeah.
Now the 480 looks like someone just put a one of those steel Outwater Kents on top of a big speaker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The 480D. Yeah, you're right. Good observation.
But
There was
that
a lid.
apparently has hidden controls under.
Yeah, this is the lid opened on it. That's the same radio.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, showing lid closed. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's pretty
Okay.
attractive. Actually, nicely done.
All about ergonomics. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it.
this little tombstone has interesting grill work.
It does.
Yes.
The shock-proof mounting.
2047 communication channels.
Ooh. Okay then.
All right.
And I love all the marketing speak.
I'll meet you on channel 1642.
My lost count.
Hey, man, I gotta see if I got a crystal for that.
So here they got London is at 11.75 megacycles. Australia. There's Berlin.
There we go. I to Joe must be to Johannesburg, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, to your own local police calls. Oh, of course, because we saw the fronts with the police officer.
Trying to see. Oh, yeah, this one had a unique dial too. It had a globe that rotated around. I saw one of these on YouTube once, not the console, but one of these with this dial on it. It was really cool because this globe rotates around. There's a little hole
Oh,
in the
look at
bottom
that!
of it here.
It's a globe. That
Yeah.
is cool.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
that's gorgeous. And what was that? Is that glass or just plastic?
Well, no, it was actually it was a piece of metal, but then just this little hole here is where it showed what station you
Oh,
were on.
okay, okay.
Does Radio Days sell a repro?
Ha! Good luck there.
Sure.
Wow, that's really, that's part of the fun, seeing these really cool dial faces and, this is super cool.
I
Love it.
had one of these at one time. They
You,
had inlay piping like for a little cigar box radio. It was
this
pretty
420
stylish.
maybe? Talk about the 420?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
had
it's
all
actually a
these
good looking
inlay
radio.
stripes.
Oh gosh, no, the woodwork alone is just gorgeous when you look at these pieces.
Yeah,
In today's, I mean, maybe it's taken a little bit more for granted, but in today's world, it's particularly refreshing. Wow,
Do you
this-
suppose that's real woodwork or like the faux stuff that
Oh,
Zenith
that
did?
was real woodwork on that because the one I had was all original.
Okay.
And,
I've got a Zenith, which has got some problems in some areas, and I got to find out how you reproduce that.
you know what? I had a Zenith too. I had her where the whole cabinet was that full finish,
Yeah.
and I bought some of this vinyl wood grain wrap that we use for car dashboards and stuff, and I actually redid the whole cabinet with that. It turned out pretty decent.
Oh, Thank
That's a good substitute for that photo finish stuff. So United Motors, they're in Los Angeles, Delco.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these features.
Fuel ratio planetary tuning unit.
It's got automotive type tubes.
Yeah. For 110 volt current.
The planetary tube. Very interesting.
There we go. Yeah, they had kind of a unique dial too.
Oh yeah.
Turn a switch, instantly a golden dial is illuminated. Pause a moment for the tubes to become warm. Now, one thing Delco was famous for is they made a lot of 32 volt DC sets.
There, yeah, a
I
lot of
had
front
one like this.
radios.
Yeah,
It's a good
you got to
looking
be careful if you ever find one. Yeah, just by looking at it, you can't tell because there'll be a transformer, it'll be a cord, but it'll be a 32 volt. If you try plugging it in, you'll get a real surprise. It doesn't like 120 volts.
Why 32?
Well, they use these wind chargers back then
Ah, okay.
to power them.
And that was AC.
Well, they were. I'm not exactly sure how that went.
Well,
Some
if you got a
houses were.
transformer, you got to have AC in there.
Yeah, some houses were wired for 32 volt DC because their whole power was supplied by one of these wind charger deals.
Okay.
This is before rural electrification came out.
That was part of the Delco light system. Delco made gasoline-powered generators with battery banks that were available to houses.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Interesting
It was
device.
something
The
like
ads are
that.
rather amusing for them too.
Yeah. I know I made a power supply for it, converted from 32 volts DC to 120 AC.
Actually, a very nice looking radio.
Yeah, it was a fun little project. So I had a console version. Let's see. It was similar to this one on the right, and they had this big metal canister that was strapped under the chassis, and it had the whole power supply thing in there. There was a vibrator and just a weird set altogether.
Beautiful consoles, boy. Portable,
Yeah.
portable entertainment in the middle, not portable on the sides.
What is that piece of furniture to the left of the console?
Is that a table, like a coffee, like a
I don't know. I thought
glass
maybe
table?
a cigarette holder, but
Oh wait, oh yeah. So anyway, would it hold a bottle of something, wine or champagne? But maybe it's
yeah,
a
maybe.
cigarette. Maybe it's cigarette ash hole. I mean, cigarettes were,
It
presumably
looks like an ashtray. Yeah.
No, further over to the other
Further
side.
over.
the other side,
Other side.
the other console to the right.
Oh, sorry. Okay. This thing you mean.
No, one more
No.
over, I guess. There
There we go.
right there.
That's pretty deep. If that's ashes, that's got a whole lot of ashes.
Yeah. And then, a wine cooler, there's no place for ice.
Yeah. Curious. Maybe it is an
Really
ashtray.
A flower holder, maybe?
Oh, okay. I might go with that.
Yeah, I think so.
Or maybe it's the Chain Smoker Deluxe.
Yeah.
Could be.
Pretty cool, actually. I kind of like it.
At any rate, that's it.
Well, that was terrific.
Wow.
Do you have,
I've got to add I'd like to show everybody. It's kind of my favorite radio ad of all
yeah.
time.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
wait for Greg to get done here, and I'll show you.
Hey, Greg, before you unshare, I saw you said you have more material?
Yeah, I've got quite a few more of these things that go up to in the 40s. And
Well, if you ever are ever motivated to do another prezo, we'd love to see it.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
terrific. This is
Definitely.
terrific. Really
Yeah,
appreciate your
really great.
great. I'm just trying to find the unshare button.
Oh, I can do that for you. I can should be able to kick you off.
Okay, good.
Somewhere along the way. The buttons keep moving, of course.
Yeah. But I'm
If
bothered.
you while you're doing the tech, can I ask you that you we're talking about remote controls. Obviously, I've been very excited about my mystery controller. I read that there was what's the word? Not hypersonic, but above ultrasonic waves, like mechanical instruments, just like the old TV clicker, where it would change when you clicked. Was that a
Like
thing with the
sonar.
radios? So it was just a very high pitched, dog whistle sound supposedly, and it would change stations. No?
Well, some of the early TV remotes for a Zenith were actually like tuning forks. It was
Right,
like you were
right.
when you were pushing the button, you were plunking a tuning fork and
Okay.
making a. But it was just a very high pitched. It was still kind of audio, but it was high audio. It wasn't
Right.
RF or anything
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
So Bob, were you going to show us?
Yeah, I was gonna wait for these guys to get
Oh
done.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
Sorry,
so some of
sorry.
you guys have seen this
Man, no, it's not a
before.
problem. Ask away. This is what makes the meetings fun.
Now,
Wow.
I'm sure that some of you have seen this before, but this is like my favorite radio ad of all time. Not only, well, here's the thing. You guys know I'm a transoceanic guy, but I think this is just kind of a funny video, picture, in my mind that this whole concept of what you're looking at is so wrong on so many levels. It's not even funny. The thing is that first of all, transoceanic, if let's say without the batteries and you had it plugged into the wall, it's probably about 7 or 8 pounds, roughly.
Sure.
Around. So now you take the proverbial 9 volt and 90 volt or AB battery, you slap that in there. Now you're up to probably about 12, 13 pounds. And now this guy also has the whippet extended, all right, on top of everything else. He's going to try to ride this camel somewhere and listen to his radio. And, do you think this is actually a feasible thing? I don't think
Yeah.
it is. So I have no idea what the people at Zenith were thinking at the time, but it's just, I have a lot of transoceanic foes, but this one always I thought was a little bit off the beaten path. I mean, you couldn't pay me to ride a camel holding a TO. I'm sorry, it would never
Did
happen.
they offer a hump mount?
There we go.
I suppose you
looking
could
at
just
this,
you could tie
Yeah.
a noose around the thing and then just stick it
Yeah.
up and just let it hang off the camel. But maybe you just
I
start
thought it
walking
was
around in circles.
Where is this set?
Well, the guy's it's sitting on top of his
No,
leg.
no, no. I don't mean set that way. I mean, where is the picture taken? Like, where is it supposed to be? India, Africa? I can't
Well,
tell.
I have no idea, but this was an
Yeah.
actual Zenith ad for
Yeah.
Transoceanic. For
It-
where I
it
think the
looks
picture
like
was
a mark.
taken? It was probably taken on a Hollywood set.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's
Of
probably where it
course.
was actually taken.
I got to
But
say that
it's
the
so bizarre.
gentlemen on the ground don't look too happy about it.
No, he's kind
No,
of,
no, the one
No,
on the left looks like
I think
Groucho.
they're waiting for the dinner bell or the lunch bell to go off so you can just go out and get a sandwich or something. They're probably
The one
I
on the
don't
left
know.
looks like Groucho Marx.
Hey, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks a little like Jamie Farr from MASH,
Yeah.
or Frank Zappa, one or the other. So I just figure I'd share that with you guys. I just always liked that picture.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Thank
So
you.
strange.
That's really awesome. But geez, guys, it's like 8:49. It's hard to want to get rolling into another topic because we really only have about 10 minutes left in the whole thing. Um, if
Well, you can show a few more pictures if you got them.
oh, what if are you talking to Bob like more advertisements?
Oh, I mean on your Brookline pictures if you got.
Oh,
them.
hey, I could start. I
Look
could
through
start
a few.
a couple. Why not? I mean, sure. You're right. Why not? Let's fill the entire slot. All right, let me
We
make
went a
sure.
little bit longer on the.
We all chipped in for this. We
Anticipated
might
on
as well
the.
do it.
Hey, you know what? It was absolutely, Greg, this was a nice, relaxing, fun talk. So I appreciate that it's just because we got to look at our own pleasure, our own leisure. It was well worth every moment of it. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
good.
let me share my screen. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this.
Little airline.
Indeed, this happens to be the first of only 236 photos, which I somehow do not think we're going to get through in 10 minutes unless I bang through it like no tomorrow. But this can spill over to a future, meetings because we won't have.
I was thinking we got started on them already, but maybe we did.
But I haven't. Yeah, it's funny. I just have not. We've had so many interesting topics or other things going on. I've just not had any time to actually share these photos. So this goes back to May 17th. But
Wow.
this must have been. Oh yeah, that's right. There was an airline. This is part of the radio contest that Paul Rochelot runs, and one of the categories was airline, and there were some terrific entries there, of which regrettably I didn't bring my own airline, but mine was more modern. I felt it was out of place, but I should have brought it, but that's all right. Life goes on. But at any rate, what's going on here? Why is this being uncooperative? There we go.
Oh, wow.
Now this,
Different.
what do we have here? Does anyone recognize this make?
I have no idea.
I wonder if it isn't an airline.
Oh, but let me see
Yeah, I
the
think
number.
that's one of the
It's an
airlines.
airline. It is
Yeah.
an airline. I just realized this is still the unfortunately it's when I upload the photos, I had photos taken from my iPhone as well as my camera, and my camera's older. Somehow I think the pictures the iPhone got in order, they based on numbered order, these showed up first. Whereas these were not the first photos I took, so that's what throws me off a little bit. This is definitely the radio contest. Yep, here's another one. I'm pretty sure this says airline. Yep. But actually great looking dial face these have. Very
Oh,
elegant.
they have those little extra needles that move for the volume control and the tone control.
Yeah, it's pretty clever and
So
pretty
as you
slick.
turn the volume up, the one on the left would, yeah.
I love it.
That's mine.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
That's a terrific piece you brought, Carl.
I wish I had on this computer the before and after pictures. I'll just say I got it out of a junk shop for $10.
Well, it looks like a million now.
That's gorgeous.
Love the design, dial face, everything.
Yeah, I love the design too. It was so dirty, I didn't even know the little brass inserts were on the knobs.
Wow. Well, a labor of love, right?
Yep.
Here's another nice one. Airlines always had nice style faces.
Mhm.
This nice oval one. Not sure what model this is, but it's funny. Is that the time is about right for just a nice segue from the advertisements presentation. Here's a nice. This was Adam who was 37.
I have one of those too. That's they're a nice set.
If I
Was
recall,
the tuning eye original or added?
That's original.
Okay.
Mine has it too. There's also a little fine tuning dial right in the center. If you look,
yeah, I
little
see
black
that.
fountain.
Oh, band spread.
Yeah.
If memory serves, it might have been nearly identical, but maybe a slightly different model. But when I first created our Facebook site for the New England Antique Radio Club at the time, I didn't have many photos to go with, and so I had one of the dial face of an airline just like this, and that was our cover page for a little while. It's for the first I don't know, maybe year before I was able to accumulate enough photos, and then I was able to work in our club logo instead. And then of course we changed our name. That was easier because it's a strip anyway. Thought it was an attractive dial face, so it kind of catches the eye.
Yeah.
This is only made by Belmont as well,
Mhm.
according to the card.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I like these.
Movie
These
dial.
the drum, yeah. And with the dot with the tuning eye, no less. I thought these were always cool. And $13.95.
It's got the original advertisement. That's cool.
Yeah, it is nice. That's funny. The advertiser makes it look wider than it really is.
Yeah, it does.
Very attractive radio though. So nice. I like the gold grill cloth cover. Very attractive, and of course matching with the goldish color of the drum. Nice radio. There we go. There's another very attractive radio. Ah, here we go. There was the other category was Gen X, I think. That was from the mid to late 60s through 1980. So this was Ken Silvestri's entry. And what a beautiful, I mean, this thing looks brand new. This Concord stereo tape recorder.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, and you don't see these very often either. There's another photo of it. You know, it was yeah, and the speaker, this was it was stereo. The speakers were there's one in the back here, and there's one in the front. That's how you got the stereo.
Nice.
And then here is a stereo speaker system, a little Sony. This is probably from right around late 70s,
Well,
80s.
I had something like that too. The Walkman sits in the middle, and you add those external speakers to it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Hmm. Yeah, I remember that. Wow, haven't thought about that in years.
I know, huh? And then one shows up. And then I forgot who brought this. And it's a what kind of analyzer this is? I forget now. Because unfortunately it's a Teradyne. I forgot what analyzer it is. It's escaping me, but certainly unusual. Not every kid on the block has one of these. Let's see.
Saying that. That's for
Whoops.
trends.
See if we there's anything from the office that would give us a clue. I'm not sure. But boy, it says lots. If you like all sorts of switches, knobs, and buttons, this is the thing to have.
What's the ad say? Put a little
Let's see here if I can.
up. Yeah.
Let's see if I can move it in. Whoop.
Oh, you mean the thing sitting on top of it?
There we go. I'm trying to get it to move down. Here we go. Put a little Teradyne in your lab. So it's a lab instrument of some sort.
Yeah.
Early computer core memory. It's 16,000 tiny round toroids hand woven into a memory plane by specially trained South American women. Could you believe this? Compare this memory plane with a tiny 1985 16,000-bit memory chip. Wow, isn't that cool? I want to say Tom brought this. I could be wrong. Yes, there it is, Tom Pereira. I thought
It's I knew it was medical related when it said it was an analyzer.
Oh man.
The days of hard memory.
Look at this. It's pretty cool.
Seaberg jukeboxes. The certain vintages in the 60s used toroid memory for locating which record was being selected.
Wow.
Interesting.
Oh,
What was that, about the late 70s?
I think even late 60s, even, and then
Oh,
into the
really?
mid 70s. Yeah.
Wow.
Here's Sony Walkman, because
oh yeah.
I actually never owned one myself. My sister had one, so I used to use it. And I was doing when I would cut the lawn, we had a big piece of land on the tractor, and occasionally I'd say, "Hey, could I use your Walkman so I can, you know, pass away the time?" Because it took me a good hour and a half, 2 hours to do the piece. So it was, so occasionally I would use it. It's kind of fun to have. Nice.
They say this is the beginning of, kids on their phones, that as soon as the Walkman came along, everybody had headphones on. We weren't sharing anything anymore.
I think I used it maybe twice or three times in my life, but actually the sound of the motor really kind of drowned things a little bit. You really had to crank the volume a bit anyway, so it was a little bit pointless. I tried it once or twice, I said, forget it. I'll just listen to the motor hum. There we go. This was nice. I think this was Adams. This is Panasonic, and this is like, look like it rolled out right out of the box. In fact, the box is right there. It looks like it never was played. I mean, you got the original documentation, just nice little, AM, FM,
Public service band.
public service band. Yeah, exactly.
So it was police and firemen.
Yeah. It was pretty nice. Nice piece. I just love to see it, and it was like it came off the shelf.
That Teradyne was an early integrated circuit tester, the
Thank
first
you.
in a line of benchtop instruments developed by Accutest and marketed by Teradyne, introduced in 1973.
Oh, thank you. And here's a Technico Super Starter System. So it's like an early computer, I want to say. Forgot whether I had better fixtures. Technico, $3.99. That's healthy. This is probably like sometime in the mid to late 70s, I would think. There's a really obscure, interesting pieces people brought here. Those to Texas Instruments box right here. Oh yeah, the Mickey Mouse Hi-Fi. I think Bob brought this. Little hi-fi radio from Mickey. Whoop, sorry about that.
1976.
Yeah. I think I have a better picture of it later. I think I took first the information. Oh, sorry, this was Adams. This was the Panasonic was not. Someone else brought that. He had this
R7000.
Yeah, exactly.
EO.
79. This is the late.
That was the Taiwan one. That's the very last one they made.
Oh, is that right? I knew it was
Yeah.
made in Taiwan. I didn't realize that was the last one they made.
Really a nice shape.
Yeah, it is. It was in fact, I think he placed this radio. It was such nice condition.
Nice versions of that radio are going for like ridiculous money now.
Really?
Yes.
This is because of the sentimental, the last one made reason?
I don't know what goes through people's minds. They want to break out dead presidents for lots of these things. When they work really well, but they were also plagued with problems and finding the band change belts are getting harder to find now for them, and other issues with them. But it's actually a very nice radio when they work. So they don't have any issues. They're just going for really crazy money.
Interesting.
I have the one before this one. I refuse to buy one of these because I just don't want to have it and have something go wrong with it. And if there was quality issues with it, but I have the first 7000 that was still made. That was the last one that was made in Chicago.
Yeah, is that the Royal G 7000?
Yes.
Yeah, I have the same one. I have the Y. You have the weather.
Yes.
That's the one I have.
And I think it's a really good radio. Plus, it
Yeah.
has sideband operation too. So there's a BFO. So if you wanted to listen to 80 or 40 or 20 or 10 meter sideband, you can. This as well, you can do that with this radio.
Yeah. Yeah, this was in I know this place. It was like they rolled out of the factory. It was really quite nice condition.
I saw one probably 10 years ago. It was literally a new in box one, and it went for like over $4,000. Someone paid for it. It was
Wow.
crazy. Thinking all the radios you could buy with that money, but someone had to have it that bad, I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess sometimes that built-in sentimental reason, some way, somehow, either they had the radio or lost it, or
It's like
huge
to me, it's like
enthusiasts.
ham operators that operate FT8, which is a fully computerized way to make contacts. So to me, it's like buying a brand new Corvette and then hiring a chauffeur to drive you around in it.
Yeah.
It's the same principle. So why do people park in driveways and drive on parkways? Well, there's people out there that'll spend $4,000 on this radio, new in box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing.
And what the market will bear.
It's wherever they'll do it.
This is a better picture. Here we go. And with the Mickey Mouse clock, no less.
That's an impressive display. I like this a lot.
Yeah, Bob did a nice job. That was Bob's doing. I'm almost sure that was his. Even has a couple little figurines at the bottom there.
He's got a Mickey and a Pluto sitting there with the papers and describing everything.
Yeah, no, he did a nice job.
It's a pretty cool little display.
I'm pretty sure he placed as well. I forgot who won. The pictures will show later. I forgot who, won first, second, and third off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure Bob placed on this for well-deserved reasons. Channel Master.
These are the most underrated radios, in my opinion, out there. They're made by Sanyo. They made these in a couple of flavors. This is the baseline 6 transistor version, and they made a 8 transistor super fringe radio. Those things are absolutely unbelievable DX machines for a low transistor radio.
Interesting.
They're good players. They got good audio. You can get these things for under $20. You may have to replace a couple caps in it, but tuned up, they're just a fantastic little radio.
Interesting. They're good looking radios too, on top of it, aesthetically.
Yeah. That's a 6506B, by the way. That's the second version.
Okay.
The first version, the font is a little bit different on the dial face. That's the only difference.
And here is
what is that? I can't make it out.
Yeah, I'm having trouble making it out myself.
Maybe I can blow mine up here. Rich, what does it say? Air Castle.
Air Castle.
That's an Air Castle. Okay.
Yeah, not seen very often.
No.
It's funny at first glance. It looks like a variant of like the airline of that, of the because I have a couple of airlines slightly smaller in size, but they have nice color coded bands. But the stylistically look very similar. But this one has the nice, card,
It presents itself very well.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like it's got a little battery meter on the side, and
yeah, it's what I have. Yeah, it's a neat radio.
And a tuning meter. Okay,
yeah,
same package.
Yeah, not seen very often. But
A&L, that's got a noise limiter on it. Wow, that's kind of cool. AFC for FM.
Yeah, so it's actually decently equipped.
Yeah, that probably was a few bucks back in the day. I mean, when most of these radios were fairly expensive, but I would think that this was probably more than probably a $30 or $40 bill, I would think.
Yeah. It's got the
nice
VHF band, so you can listen to air transmissions on that band.
Yeah, back in the day. Now, well, everything now you can't really listen to any of that now. You might be able to get some hams and stuff on there, but police and fire and everything, no, you're not going to get that now.
Police and fire, no, but air traffic control you still get.
You can still, yeah, you can still get air traffic.
Oh yeah. I have, well, of course I have my scanner, but I have a couple of airline with they call the air band, which is sort of just pretty much goes from one says around 116. What does it say? Mine, yeah, it goes from 108 through 137. It's right at my desk here. Here, let
There
me
you
show.
go.
I'll show you. Since I'm
Well, I'm pleased to report in Mid-Coast, Maine, they don't scramble the police or fire signals
oh
still.
really?
Yep.
That's interesting. Here, let me just grab this for just 30 seconds.
They don't use trunking up there.
No.
Okay.
But yeah. Here's my here. I unshare and I can for a moment here. And can I spot my I can't spotlight myself. Oh, here we go. I can. Just so you can see the bigger. See, there we go. It's a terrific little rig.
Son of a gun.
It's got a nice little meter. This is the exact one my dad had in the 70s. I used to play with this all the time, much to his dismay, because I would leave it off the channel he was listening to. So, but it has a nice little dial amp, and this all works. Got a little AFC button.
Well, you must have taken it from him now and then to play with it because it kind of stuck with you, you know?
Well, I saw you know what, it's sentimental. I for long forgot
Yeah.
about it. I happened to see one, and I said, it was actually the lesser model. They made one slightly lesser featured one, and it kind of reminded me of that. So, let me move spotlight. So I said, hey, I really like that. So I bought that one. It was like almost perfect, and it was very reasonable money. I don't know. I spent maybe like $20, and it seemed more than reasonable. Power cord and everything. And then I remembered, oh, wait a minute. One my dad had different color coding, and when I happened to be looking, I found one, and I waited for one to show up on eBay, and actually one showed up for like very reasonable money from California. It looked like the one I bought, and I said, gotta have it. Now I can play with it and not get in trouble. So and it's sentiment. It's my daily driver when I'm in the office. I'll throw on like, I don't know, one of the local NPR stations, listen to the news while I'm starting work, when I don't, I'm just banging through emails. So it's actually a nice little set. Yes, it's made in Taiwan, but it works well. And actually the airband works great. It actually is willing to receive whatever we can get locally, because I'm not super far from Logan Airport, so so I can get usually departures and we'll catch that. But I use my scanner for that anyway. But occasionally I'm like, hey, is this work? And yeah, I picked up stuff. But of course you have to keep turning it. That's why you can appreciate a scanner. That's because you sit there and you just leave it on the station, hope something will come on, versus the scanner does all the work for you. But at any rate, let's see here. We're at 9:15, I suppose. I'll leave this the marker. The shortwave radio looks a bit like an airline, and I'll leave you guys at that. Otherwise, we could be on for hours if we really put ourselves through this. Well, actually, it was a terrific meeting. Greg, really appreciate your presentation. Tom, we got to give you a slot for Friedrichshafen, when you're available, because I'd love to see your newfound toys that you bought separate seats for that sat beside you on the plane. And
Tom, have you had the opportunity to rehome them yet? No.
but that'll come. But that'll be a very expensive rehoming.
Yes,
I was very happy to be able to get them home through all the tariff questions. We took them apart, so they looked like an erector set by the time we got them. So anybody looks in the bags, they just see this piece of disassembled mechanism.
Wow. It's nothing's easy anymore. But
actually, it caused more of a fuss than a regular Enigma ever caused. If regular Enigma coming out of Switzerland, the guys who look at the X-rays recognize it, and then they say, "Hey, how'd you get an Enigma? Can I show it to my friends?" Guys come over, and one guy said, "Would you take my picture with it?" And no photography allowed in there.
Wow, that's cool.
Would you let me take your picture with it? And he said, okay. So I got this crazy photo of a customs guy with an Enigma.
That's funny. Well, at least that was a happy time. That's fun. Well, the amazing thing is the guy recognized it, because it's not exactly something, that many people would recognize.
Yeah, but they did not recognize the disassembled erector set version. So I had to take that apart, and they had to sniff it with their bomb sniffing wipes and stuff like that.
They don't have an Enigma sniffing dog?
No dogs.
Oh, man. But, well, that's terrific. Well,
at least you don't have to take your shoes off anymore.
No,
yes.
I'm old enough, so that is no longer a problem.
I know.
So-
That's actually, okay, then what's then they'll have to come up with a value proposition for TSA pre-check, because that's one of the reasons. I guess maybe the shorter line, but a lot of people have TSA pre-check.
Right.
They're like, okay, what's the value proposition?
Your shoes on. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is about as far as I got.
Oh.
Trying to draw my raton circuit. So
Well,
been kept busy.
that's good. Well, you know what, Dan, is the next meeting in August will be a round robin, so we'll have to hear you feel free to
See
present
if the progress.
and tell us what
This was fantastic. I'm a historian by training, so looking at these old images and thinking about how people lived with these machines was really exciting. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that was great. Really appreciate that, Greg. It was really a lot of fun, and also with a small audience, we get to indulge more. So if you're ever up for doing another one with your other advertisements in the future, we are all in.
Sure.
No pressure, of course.
No pressure. No, what I did for the Illinois club, it only lasted 20 minutes, so we kind of stretched it out a little bit here.
Yeah, but that's the fun part. We get to look around, talk about it. That's what makes it more enjoyable.
Great.
But anyway, guys, I will cut you guys loose. I hope you enjoy the rest of the month. Stay cool, stay dry, stay safe, and stay in touch. And looking forward to see you in August. Will be the next meeting.
Thank you, John.
Thanks,
Good
John.
seeing you guys. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Yeah.